Welcome back to stage of North Shore. We have our comedian Kai here. He's just been on stage. How are you feeling after that show?
I'm good, it was fun. It was nice.
Fun, yeah?
Yep.
Could you tell us a bit about the comedy store that you were on?
The TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good fun because I hadn't been going too long. I mean, I'd been going about a year and a half when I recorded it, and the recording was so much fun. It's all a bit of a blur because I was so nervous at the time, but I was on with heroes like Kevin Bridges and Tom Stade, and I think with these gigs, like as a gig, forgetting it's a recording, you learn so much more from working with these guys than on the open mic scene in the provinces, if you know what I mean. It's kind of full-on exposure, so it was lovely.
Yeah, so that was a good experience for you,
yeah.
and you really learn a lot and stuff from them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the feedback you get off them is just like, it's precious. It's like precious gold when these guys that have made it all the way to the top are giving you their pills of wisdom. It's like you've just got to be a sponge and take it all in.
What was your best experience on the show?
On the show, it was funny because before the gig, I was so nervous that I couldn't really think straight. I was trying to watch the other acts, and even though I knew they were funny, I was kind of straight-faced because I was in my own little zone thinking about one set.
Yeah.
So it was the relief of going on stage and putting on a sound gig and being happy with it and happy with the laughter and knowing I didn't trip up any words and coming off and just being able the relaxation of just being able to settle and watch the rest of the acts and have a drink, because I don't drink before a gig either. So I was sitting watching the other acts, just they were so laid back about it, like they were just having a drink, and some of them were smoking weed and everything, and I was just like, as much as I'd love to get involved, I want to be professional and do it properly.
Yeah,
so
keep your mind in check and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what about what's your best gig that you've ever done?
I'm inclined to say that one. I'd done tour support for Rod Gilbert once, which he's like someone I've been into before I started comedy. So when I got the phone call to work with him, it was amazing. But that gig was actually quite tough. It was just the dynamics of the room. It was like such a high ceiling and 1,000 people, and it was a nice gig. It went well, but it was hard work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just like it was tough, but.
Like the pressure of everyone watching you.
Yeah, and the fact that you go on with no MC, you're like literally the warm-up act, and people aren't expecting you there. Yeah. They hear the announcement that you're coming on stage and they think it's for Rod Gilbert. So they're like, oh, who's this guy? And then you have to bring them up from nothing and like bring them to the top. Yeah. So that's like one of my best experiences. My favourite gig, it's hard to say. There's so many nice gigs. The Grinning Idiot one in Newcastle is one of my favourites, so I love gigging there. I run one in Cramlington and I always have a blast when I MC that. So I would say the local gigs with the home crowds are my favourites.
Oh yeah, because obviously they're local, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been doing these gigs? And
I done my first gig on the 22nd of October 2008, so it's now just over 2 years.
Alright.
Yeah, it's been good fun.
Good fun.
It's strange because I'd done my first gig just on a whim. Like I wasn't planning on being a stand-up comedian full time.
Did you never thought about it? So it was just like a spur of the moment.
I saw the guys on stage and I thought that's what I want to do. And I spoke to one of the guys afterwards, and I was at an open mic night in town where it was Gavin Webster running it. It was a new material night, and there was only about 12 people in, and I'd brought about 6 of them. So I said, like, if I can have a go next month, I'll bring a few extra people. Yeah. So that's the way I got into it. So I brought a few friends to this room, done my first 10 spot, and I thought it was only ever going to be that. Just like a novelty value, 10 minutes. And
well, now you're here, 2 years later.
It's good fun.
That's good. How are you handling heckling?
Heckling, you just deal with it when it happens, I guess. You never want to heckle.
Yeah.
But it's funny because if you think about heckling before you're on stage, it sometimes eats you up a little bit because you think, oh, I don't know how I'd react.
Yeah.
But when your blood's pumping and the adrenaline's going through your bloodstream, you've got the mic in your hand, you've already got the crowd on side. Yeah. It just seems to come naturally. Whatever you say, just you surprise yourself, I guess. But it's never a nice thing. But sometimes you can get a cheap laugh off it, I guess.
What's your best joke? Any jokes for us tonight?
Right, my favourite joke, I don't know the owner of it, but I'm determined to find out. Are you on about my jokes?
Yeah, any jokes are...
A joke of mine. The best joke I've ever heard or read, it was, what's brown and rhymes with Snoop?
What? I'm really slow.
You're meant to say poop, and then I say Dr. Dre.
That's so bad.
It's a shit joke, but yeah, it's probably I don't know who owns it, but I that's probably one.
Google it. I'm sure you can find it on Google.
Yeah, I'll probably just find it on Wikipedia or on a website. yeah. But that's the thing with these Wikipedia sites. Like a lot of comedians' jokes end up on there.
Oh, do
so
they?
when you get a text to your phone and you're like, oh, that's a funny joke that you've received in a text, you've got to bear in mind that's come from somebody sitting writing with a pen and a pad to do it on stage, and they've been ripped off. Really, so I always feel a little bit let down when I get a joke text because I think, oh, that's someone's bread and butter.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So.
Well, thank you very much for coming to see us after the show. It was very nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
That's it.
Thanks, guys.